What up, what up, what up?
Hey,
This
y'all.
is DCE Ladies Night.
Cause this is ladies'
Dum,
night.
dum, dum.
Feelings right.
Hey.
This is ladies.
Oh,
what a night.
oh, what a night. What's up? This is Disorderly Conduct Ladies Night, Part 3.
Amen.
I have a beautiful array of guest hosts tonight, and I am the wifey of CEO Craig Stewart, Samantha
Amen.
Stewart.
Amen.
Next to me, I have, of course, the one and only Quiet Storm,
Hey, y'all. How you doing?
and then we have returning back to the mic, Miss Taryn.
Hello. Miss
And-
Taryn Simone. Yes.
And also returning back to the mic, Miss Whitley. You go by
Rich Brown Sugar.
Rich Brown Sugar. Yes.
Well,
yes.
sugar. Brown sugar. Well,
Yes.
music be stuck in my head.
Me too. I'm a very musical family.
So we need everybody to go out,
Let me
share.
All right, I'm on it right now.
Right.
Let's go ahead and get this out. Get some good people tuning in to this wonderful discussion that we're going to have. This is all about the ladies tonight. Like, this is about us and the things we go through. You're going to get our honest opinion.
If Craig would get his hand out the way.
Right. He is not normally the photographer.
Yeah, you can tell too.
He making rookie mistakes.
He was focused too.
Real focus.
Okay,
shared it.
like,
So
share.
like, share, Disorderly Conduct, ENT, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Spreaker, Apple, what is it? Apple.
What? Spreaker, Apple Podcasts,
Apple Podcasts.
Spotify,
Thank you.
Google Play Podcasts, SoundCloud.
We are everywhere.
If you just look for us, it's not that hard.
No, not at all.
You ain't gotta do too much work.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm. So y'all good on the sharing?
Everybody
ready?
on the sharing, yes.
Brown Sugar.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Tuning in for the brown.
Tune in.
Sure. Yes, y'all, for the 6 shares. Come on, then.
So we talk about just a full array of topics tonight.
Yes.
Some things that you guys, gentlemen, men out there that are watching, may have the burning desire to wonder what we are thinking sometimes. What goes on in the brains of a woman. Y'all always tell us that we crazy.
But it's for a reason.
Well, the
It
people
is.
crazy on deck
Okay.
tonight and plenty of shade. So they'll
Plenty of
tune
it.
into these opinions.
And then we ain't got nobody here to like come back what we saying, so we could just be so like just genuinely honest.
It's going exactly.
And that's what I appreciate about this.
We are 100% no hold back type
Bars,
crew
none.
tonight. None of that.
Hell,
Sister
no.
Circle.
Yes.
So you're gonna get the honest truth.
Kay.
Hey.
Hey, girl. I can read.
I know.
Yes.
I can read.
Yes. Hey, Kay.
Yeah. I ain't got no glasses. I've been eating them carrots.
All right.
Ooh,
Well, how y'all doing tonight?
good. It's
Just wanna
Saturday
shake
night.
it.
You know the rain
Listen.
stopped. It was raining
It was
at first.
beautiful.
Oh wait, it was like storming hard, and then it just
Yeah, I wasn't
cleared
feeling
out,
this
and the
morning.
sun came in. I was in bed for a long time.
Yeah, it was that bad weather this morning.
Yeah, it was, but it was nice.
I got up, went to
I got up,
Walmart.
cooked breakfast,
Mhm.
opened the
Oh, you
patio
cooked?
door up so we could hear the rain at the dining room.
You like that
table.
stormy weather
Oh, I
kinda
love
coming in?
it. I love it. It's a nice time to curl up by a window with a good book. I love it. It is very
Well, I ain't gonna say that about a book.
Yep.
But I'm gonna say that about about the Netflix. You heard me?
Chill type weather.
Yeah.
Early
chill.
this morning.
Yes, booty rubs. Get them.
Yes.
You know
Get 'em
what
while-
booty rubs turn to.
Hey,
Well, as soon as
Kiana.
they
Hey, Denise. Ladies are tuning
Yes,
in.
Come through, ladies.
Yes. Come on, y'all.
Give us a shout. Comment. Hey.
Right, share it to your friends and your followers.
What would y'all like us to talk about tonight? If y'all have something you think we should discuss tonight, let us know in the comments. Make a comment so we can talk
They
about
out
it.
there
What
loud.
y'all doing?
Yeah.
You heard them out there hollering.
Yeah, they have their own little
Yeah,
party.
because they ready. They ready. They think
They
we
ready.
coming for
That's what
them.
men do when the women disappear. They get loud.
Oh,
They think
yeah.
they coming for
Yeah,
us.
rowdy.
Coming for them.
Greg was always like, "We not gonna have no man bashing session." Da 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 da. I'm like,
I feel
It
like
ain't
they're
like,
always
yeah.
on guard, like always on the defensive. Like, I gotta
And it
defend
ain't even
myself.
all about them.
right. I say that
See,
all the
that's the
time. Like,
problem.
it's not always about you, boo boo. Like,
It's not. That's the problem. Let me call Christian.
and even if we was, it's just, this is the shit we go through.
Mhm.
Like, even if little dose of honesty never hurt nobody.
baby boy.
I hate that. I feel like I think it's society, but it's like male, female. We got this struggle. No, we struggle harder. No, we struggle. I hate
Why-
that.
I
It's
hate
like,
Yeah.
it too.
why we just can't come together? We both hurting. We both going through stuff.
We both
Like,
struggling.
let's
Like,
understand that as adults, we both going through stuff.
and that's the key part that a lot of people
Respect
miss.
everybody.
Nobody got it easy.
Understanding.
Right,
That's something that's
true.
very important in like just relationships, period, whether it's friendships with your girlfriends or friend guys or just, well,
Yeah.
spouse type shit. So
And communication.
And
Because
yes.
sometimes you never know what a person is thinking or how they feeling until they say it. Then you're like, what? You was feeling like that? Yeah.
It's because of the assumptions. That's
Yes,
what gets you. I'm
girl.
assuming I
Mhm.
know how you feel and how you're processing things.
Because
But
Well, I
everybody
hate
think
that.
different.
Right. I'm not you. I process things completely
way
different.
different.
Especially because women are so complex.
We do, and we're gonna get into the relationship side of things because that's interesting. You say that, especially back when Craig and I were early dating. If we get into an argument, he'd be like, "I know what you about to say," but like,
No, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
You have no idea.
This is
you about
a-
to say this, and this.
But see, we
And even
think
if I
different.
was, that's not my experience.
yeah,
You know.
that's unfair.
But sometimes even
That's
if you know what
unfair.
I'm about to say, it might not be in the same context.
Yeah, the
As you're
tone
thinking it.
is
Thinking.
Right.
yes,
Yes, right.
yes.
Tone
The
is
tone is
everything. It's not
everything.
what you say, it's how you say it.
That's
So
true.
your delivery to me just didn't receive well.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then even when we try to communicate, like they think, okay, this is the issue. They focus on that one issue. They stuck, but we think, okay, this going on, this going on, this going on, this going on.
Connect the dots.
So yeah, we
Yes,
got all
or
this
this
going
trickle
on.
down
So when
to
we bring
that.
up our issues, we're like, okay, this the issue. This how we can fix it. And they just stuck on, okay, this the issue. And then it irritates you
right.
because
It
you're
ain't,
still
though.
stuck. Like you got left. Come with me.
No.
Come
Because
back.
most of the time
I
when there's a problem, it's things that built up to create
that
that
right.
problem. It's these
And that's the
small
problem for us
things.
women is that
Mhm.
we don't ever address like the small problems. We'll
When it
hold
hap-
this shit
Yes,
in.
we wait. We'll be like, no,
We
we
gonna
just
wait.
didn't. Okay, watch. It'll just
Mm.
let it
go.
go. It'll get
Yeah, just
better.
let it go.
Yeah, because it ain't that serious. It ain't that bad. So maybe I'm tripping. I'm just gonna
Right.
deal with it. And then
And then
instead
it
it
add
builds
on.
up
But
till you
I-
can't
it's-
hold on
I
to it
wouldn't
no
even
more.
say that's a woman thing. I think we all make trade-offs.
That's true.
Mhm.
Like, when it comes to people's flaws, okay, he good though. He good to this extent, so I can trade that off.
Mhm.
Right.
But men, I think more so do it when it comes to physical appearance.
Ugh.
I can deal with her burning up stuff and not really cooking because she got a fat ass.
Mate,
You
yeah,
know,
I see what you're
You know,
saying.
she do this in the bedroom so I can deal with my mama not
Oh.
liking her, right?
And then, like,
we all do
men-
trade-offs.
I don't want to say they're afraid to express themselves, but they shy away from it
Mm.
because they may feel like it's not manly. Like I don't
Yeah.
want her to think that I'm sensitive or
Yeah.
I'm a punk because I feel this way. So if they're hurt or something's bothering them, they're more likely to shy away because they don't want to feel less than a man or want you to see them in that light.
But there's a huge attack on black male masculinity right
It
now,
is.
especially with the whole Jussie Smollett thing.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
men, there's this
Don't get
tug
me
of
started.
what's manly and what's not.
Right.
What can I do and what can I not do?
Mm.
And it's create your own boundaries. Stop letting society build those boundaries on what makes you a man.
Well,
If
yeah.
you feel like it's okay as a man, then let it
be okay. Yeah.
My heart goes out though because I can't imagine because I know black men have it hard. I know
Mhm.
men have it hard because they got to be the head, but black men, oh Lord, my heart goes out, and it's like if you're being too strong or too masculine, you need to tone it down. That's too
Mhm.
much.
Mhm.
But if you try to subdue yourself and relax and just let stuff go. Oh, you being a punk now. You need to
Right.
step up. You need to be a man. It's like,
Mm.
I don't know. They can't really win because it's either you're doing too much or you're not doing enough.
Mhm.
And that's when I'm just like,
You need a nice mixture of both. And I would tell any man, if somebody feels the need to test your manhood, tell them to worry about theirs. Because most likely, if they're worried about your manhood,
It's an
because
insecurity
they're feeling
within
insecure
themselves.
about themselves.
Mhm.
Because we all people, for some reason, we hate in other people the shortcomings we see in ourselves.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's
Well, I've been lucky to just like I don't know, like I've only been in like honestly like 2 serious relationships in my life, and I've been blessed for like both of them to be like very manly man and okay in their sexuality. So it's almost weird to me sometimes when I hear like men going through those kind of things because I'm just like I don't understand that, you know. So I don't know. I think that's just like maybe in the types of men that are happening, like if you don't have a daddy or if you only raised by your mommy,
That's true.
or you know what I mean.
That's
So
true.
maybe I don't know. Maybe
Because
that's a
I've
thing
noticed
for
it
us.
with dating like men that had their dad in their home and in their life, and then men that didn't have their dad. I noticed the differences and the different struggles and stuff. That it's different
Yeah, it's
dating men
different.
that had their father and didn't have their
Just
father.
like it's different dating women,
right. That's true.
because you know if we were talking about the mommy and how that affects like dating, I feel like when it comes to women that don't have their dads in their life, it does like drive you a little bit crazy because you don't understand how to have a relationship with somebody
True.
else. You only understand how, you know, what you see in your mom or what you
Right.
see your mom do.
Right.
So that's something that I think is something to
So let's get into that. Let's actually address that topic because we had it on the schedule to do that. So the topic is did your relationship with your mom affect your current dating or dating at any point? And then the second part of that is or did you see your mom's relationship? So like did the relationship you had with your mom have an effect to your relationship, and then did you seeing her relationship with a significant other affect how you date currently? So
okay, so with my mom, I've never seen anybody that I've only seen one person that she's dated outside of my daddy. And
did she call him uncle?
No.
Oh, I hate that.
He was a live-in boyfriend. They were together like 6-7 years, and then it just never happened because I think something about marriage or something. He wasn't trying to go down that road, and it was like 5 years, 6 years in, you know, that kind of thing. But me never seeing a relationship trickle down into my relationships because I never understood how to treat people. Like I only saw what my mom was doing, you know.
Right.
So that caused like the toxic traits that you get, and you become selfish because you don't know how to, like, you know, interact in a relationship, like that give and take on somebody. You don't know how to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You think
That's
it's all
true.
about you because your mom has made it all about you.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
I
So-
agree. I understand where she's coming from.
That was
My mom was very dominant and masculine, and she got married probably when I was about 12, and she's divorced now. And it's like I understand, like they say, learn from your parents' mistakes.
Correct.
I really saw and witnessed what she was going through, and sometimes it scares me because I catch myself doing things
doing the
that she
same
did,
thing, yeah.
or being angry like she was. And I'm like, okay, at least I can acknowledge that and catch that and work on that to fix that. But she was very masculine. So with me being the oldest child and always having to fend for myself, like everybody know, I used to be homeless and stuff, and that can put you through some stuff. So at being a teenager and being homeless, so I had to fend for myself really, and I became very dominant and masculine. So when I started to date a man, keep in mind I started off dating women, so that was a transition.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
because I was more comfortable with women, and then I had been molested when I was little,
Right.
so it's going hand in hand. But I had to learn how to let him take lead. I didn't know how to let a man take lead because even with my stepdaddy, she took the lead. Like he would fall back. I feel like he was intimidated by her, and she would take the lead. And lately, I've been having people like 50-something men, 50-something stuff tell me that they're me, and I'm like, why?
How, Sway?
And I think it's because I stand my
You
ground.
said, yeah.
Like how I feel, or
Nobody
if I
run no
want to
game
speak,
on it.
I'm gonna do
Do
it.
that.
Like you can't quiet
Mhm.
me down. I have an opinion too, just like you're human. I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, but listen to what I have to say too.
Mhm.
And with her, I don't know. She bringing home the money because my stepdad was disabled, so he stayed at home. And it's like she was always the been for me when she was 17, and it was just me and her. And then when she got older, it was the same thing. And that's kind of that's all I saw.
Mhm.
So that's kind of what I was taught growing up. And when I got older, I had to break away from that and be like, okay, a man is supposed to be a man, like you support, and he's the lead. And I had to learn that for myself. Now, as my relationship with my mom, she was one of the mom. I'm not your friend.
Mhm.
Now that her mom has passed away, and she don't really have friends because she always taught me that you don't have any friends. Your friend is God. So when I went to college, I was so scared because I thought somebody gonna betray me. I didn't have real friends, and then moving around a lot, I didn't have friends
I
because
wouldn't
I
do that.
couldn't meet people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So she was like, I'm not your little friend, and we couldn't have like discussions. And when I got older, I would try to talk to her about something, it would always blow up, it would always go negative or bad.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to talk to her because I don't want that negative, even though I love her and that's my mom.
I agree.
Your outlook towards stuff is negative
Way
because
different.
what you've been through, and you're not trying to heal yourself or
Girl.
help yourself. It's hurting you. I want to heal. Like I don't want to go down that road.
It's to the point where I had to, like, every time I get into, like, I talk to my mom. Now this is like the effect on relationships with friends and family and spouse, right? I would get so angry every time we talk because every time we get on the phone, it's something negative
Mhm.
or it's
Mhm.
selfish. You know what I'm saying? And it would piss me off. So I would have to like write down, like, what did she say or what just happened to trigger me, because that's trickling down into my relationship. Like I would just blow up and don't know how, don't know why, don't even remember why I was just mad, but I just know I just turned something that could have just been solved into something so negative.
Mhm.
So I feel you on that. I had to write that shit down because I'm trying to heal, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm breaking those generational.
Yeah, curse.
Mhm.
The thing with my story is basically that I had to be strong in a different type of way. Like I became independent, however, whatever you want to call it, because I saw when I saw my mom's relationships, it always ended up in drama. And so I had to be that dominant person out of defense. Like I felt like I was always on edge because I always had to watch her defend herself from a drama, whatever the case may be, with relationships and men. That when I got to like start dating, I always had a wall built up, and I was always on like defense, like waiting on something to happen, and then waiting for me to just be like, nope, shut down.
Right.
I'm good.
Like, that's a sign.
You know,
pull
all right,
back.
yeah. Like, okay, we're not gonna go there.
Yeah.
So like it was always a wall built up. And like Craig will tell you, like it took a lot for him to even break it down. He even told me, like, dude, you wear me out.
Mhm.
Like it's like a layer after another layer after another layer, and it's just because of what I saw and what I always had to deal with when it comes to my mom's relationships and things of that nature. So
like with that waiting thing, like I like my man is just amazing, okay, and it's to the point where I just had such a wall built, like you were talking about, that I would just be like sitting in the cut, like waiting, just because this can't be real,
Right?
This is a joke right now, but why can't somebody just like genuinely love you and genuinely not like?
See, I think I'm worse than having a wall. I sabotage a relationship real quick.
Yeah,
I
you
give
on
you a
there.
reason.
If it get good,
I give you a hella good reason. I do dumb shit just to be like, yeah, you can go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I had an ex who used to tell me all the time, you treat me like they're so replaceable. Like, you don't need us. Because, like, come on now. I've been single more than I've been in a relationship. I take care of 2 kids by myself completely, working on opening up in a business. I'm doing all this by myself. And the only thing you could do is come in my life and pay half the bills that I'm already paying.
that you've been paying, right?
So, like, I'm real quick to just be like, just in dumbass ways that can completely be avoided, sabotaging relationships. My dad is kind of like don't trust anybody. How you saying your mom just said, don't trust anybody but God. My dad's the same way. So I'm always waiting on folks, the other shoe to drop.
Right.
Want people to
Mhm.
betray me and fuck up and be like, you know what? No, I shouldn't have trusted them anyway.
Mhm.
But
Right.
that was coming.
But you kind of spoke that out
Yeah.
there though. Like you spoke.
You
did
put
you
that
not think
vibe out
about that?
there.
Like
Mhm.
waiting on something to like just happen. You are like
I feel like it kind of makes
subconsciously-
you look for it. Like
Yeah,
you're
you
looking for it. Is that it?
anything.
That's it. There you go. I
That's
got
it.
you.
and I
know.
do sometimes I look for it and I'm like, you know what? That's reason enough.
Mhm.
You know, but I guess it all depends on if the person's worthy of me not doing that.
No, I
then
do.
won't do it.
Mhm.
Of course.
You know, but yeah, and it's just me setting a different standard for myself because I found myself, I have both my parents. They're divorced now. They waited to get divorced when we were all like high school. But they had a horrible marriage. And like my dad was cheating on my mom. And
Do you think they should have got a divorce earlier?
me and my older brother told him when we were at elementary that they should have got a divorce because all they did was argue.
Yeah.
So like my marriage was the complete replica of my mother and father. Like I was doing the exact same thing. I married somebody that was here and I was here. And in every capacity that you could think of in a relationship, like taking care of things. I had to tell them what to do, what to take care of, when they need to be here, when to do this. If this is the next step he wanted to take in life, I would prepare him for it and be like, you need to be here to do this, to be ready to go there so you can get to this point in your life.
Well, my marriage wasn't even a replica of nothing because I had nothing to go by. My granny was married to my papa for the longest time, but he cheated. So we left when I was like 2. Me and my granny dipped. You know what I'm saying? So I had no idea what a marriage was or what it was supposed to be.
But even though you feel like you didn't have a replica subconsciously,
could've-
you probably did because they were married.
Mhm.
Even though like everybody's in my family is divorced because their husband cheated on them. Every woman I know I'm related to, they are divorced because their husband cheated. My husband didn't cheat on me.
Why do you think
but
that
he
is
just
though?
wasn't there. He was shitty. Because I think, and I've done a lot of research on the whole breakdown of the African American unit and the family system is back then women put up with a lot more. I have a husband. I'm supposed to stick by him no matter
whatever
what.
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now with
There's so
African
many
American
avenues that
women
you-
being the highest rated college graduates, like our group is the one that's setting the standard right now. We're not putting up with anything. We're saying either you're gonna be without what I want, or
And
you're
what
just
I
not
need,
for
or
me.
you're not.
And
for
I'd
me.
rather be
Yeah.
by myself.
Yep.
That's why it's a lot more African American women raising kids alone. It's not that in most instances, it's not even that we're with somebody and and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. We've created a society right now with the whole men fighting for their masculinity and are lost in the sauce because either one parent wasn't there or it was just a horrible relationship.
Or do you
Where
think
black
welfare
women
did that?
I honestly hate when people bring up welfare. That's an option.
Yeah.
No
That's an
one's
option.
making you do it.
So then that's the woman of like creating that environment.
It's there to assist you when you're down. I have been on Section 8. I have had food stamps. I used it when I needed it, and when I didn't need it anymore and I got on my feet, I let it go. So somebody who needed it can get on their feet.
Yeah,
It is not there to be a lifelong replica of income. Get off your ass and work.
Yeah.
Right. But then so bringing that back into the man aspect, like how does like that not play a part though? Because if you think about it, for a while we could only get welfare. You know what I'm saying? We could only not saying that that's the only thing, but for the most part, that's what a lot of women knew. You know what I'm saying? Like your mama would tell you, we ain't got this, so you better go down there and get, you know what I'm saying, get welfare. So then that replaces where
So,
the
I
man
think
that
that's-
should be, you know?
I kind of think that's dependent on like the person. Like if like I've seen families that are generational welfare.
Yeah, that's-
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's more so
Because if you have somebody that's above you, your mom, your grandma, whatever, like settle for that type of lifestyle.
You're
Because
gonna
at the
do
end of the day,
it, yeah.
you settling for that type of lifestyle, only living on what they provide for you or what the government provides for you, having food stamps all the time, doing all that kind of stuff. Like I've seen people do that and then their kids do it because they're like, well, this is what I know. They don't see a woman going out here working and taking
Right.
care of the kids. They don't like every day. They may see their friends do it, but because it comes from the top down. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
And I understand what you're saying. Like, I meet people who say, like, I didn't know these resources were available to me. I didn't know. But as much as we as a society take in internet, TV, all these different things,
the information's out there.
It's like, why have you never thought in your head, like, I'm gonna see what these people are doing to get where they're going?
Ask them questions.
Even not necessarily that. Okay, like I said to one person, so like one of your favorite rappers was back in the day 50 Cent. Look where he's at now. Multi-millionaire. What is he doing? Look into that. Look at all these companies he's collaborating with. Look and see how he got there. Because on your way to researching how he got there, you're gonna run into this person, how they got there, this person, how they got there, this person. Like I literally have a friend who lives on the street because he believes all those. This person went from being homeless to a millionaire overnight.
Success.
It doesn't happen like that.
No.
Do not believe
Unless
what
you buy that $2 lottery ticket.
Right.
People make it seem like that. But
Okay,
you
so
don't see the behind the scenes struggle.
The word-
sleeping on that bench.
And it takes a time. It's a process.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Figure it out. That's what I try to tell people all the time. Figure it out. The way you're on your phone on Facebook,
Right.
get on YouTube. I tell like my sons for some reason, he come to me, ask me questions. Like a while ago, he came and asked me about Little Rock 9. I said, you're always on YouTube. Look up the Little Rock 9 on YouTube. I swear they're on there. And we sat and we watched some videos about racism and the civil rights movement because he was curious about it, but he wanted me to feed him the information with my mouth. You are good at searching stuff on YouTube. You watch all these other gamers play your video games.
Kids good at that now.
Yeah. Figure out that information that you want to know, because if you want that knowledge and you crave it like you think you do, you will figure it out. I've done 2 years of research to start all the businesses that I wanted to start. I dug deep into it. I figured it out. Now it's at this point where there's no more research I can do. I have to become a doer.
Time to do it. Yeah.
That's what was happening with my YouTube.
I want to acknowledge Kiana's comment because we asked the people would make comments. Ladies, keep making comments. She said, can we also talk about that? I feel like I don't know how to let a man take the lead. My advice, because I'm still working on it, because I find myself still struggling, is first of all, when you get to that point with a guy, it has to be a level of trust. So you're going to trust him to a certain extent if you feel comfortable enough to want to establish a relationship with him, and you have to trust him to lead you. Also, communication is key. So communicate to him that has been one of your hangups. That's what you trying to work on, is letting the man take the lead and y'all can work together. A relationship is supposed to be a team. So he should be able to help you work on that. Also, you shouldn't have to do the work all on your own. If you're wanting and willing to do it, the effort is everything. So he should be able to, willing to help you through that struggle, because it is a struggle.
It's a struggle for me. I honest to God, when I'm in a situation where I could take over and dominate, I say, you know what?
I'm
just
straight
like
on
that.
you.
You the man in a relationship. I'm gonna step back and let you take it. Like
I'm straight on that.
I openly acknowledge it so I can know that I'm doing better because I'm used to controlling my life. I'm used to making all the decisions, financial, what we do, what we wear, where we're going. I'm used to being in control. So I voice it out loud to help myself. You know what? I'm not even gonna take control of this situation. You got this.
Right.
And I'll literally take a step back and be like, okay, what you want to do?
Right.
I was thinking more so that's if I feel like it's okay if he has a plan. Like,
So that's where I was gonna go with.
You know,
the thing about it is it's the hard part is because a man can't lead you without a plan.
without a plan, right?
And there's a lot of men. I'm not bashing. We're not going there. But that's one thing that I think men do need to learn, or that they don't necessarily learn from their parents unless they see it, is to a man have to have a plan.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times you see the family, they rolling through life. The dad's working, they bringing home the money. If they living in a 2-parent household, mom's taking care of the kids. That's our parents' generation. What they was doing is the wifey mommy at home, taking care of the house, you know, doing that thing, dad out working, all that kind of stuff. But in our generation,
They're in
it's
jail.
completely different.
Right.
You see way more women out here making their own money and doing their own thing, and not necessarily needing financial support from, or any support for that matter, from a man. And so we have taught ourselves we don't need to be led by a man. We don't have to, because we may have our own plans.
Right.
You know, I definitely remember like when we was first dating, like I had my plan before Craig, like, you know, before any of that. I had my own apartment. I was going to college. I knew at some point I wanted to buy a house. Like, these were my goals. I had my own plans before he came into it. And that was difficult. It was difficult for me, right, to even bring him into that, because
where do you fit?
You knew where you was
Right.
going.
I already knew
Where do you fit?
And
in
like,
my mind where I was going. And the thing about it is at that time we were both young. He didn't know
Right.
where he wanted to go,
That's
what he wanted to do, you know.
And age is a huge difference when you don't know at 20, 21, 22 where you're gonna go. But like literally, like the whole step back thing is what I'm talking about day to day. Now, as far as big pictures where we're going, like my current relationship, we literally have two big whiteboards up in the bedroom, one labeled finances, one labeled business. We have a complete plan. On each board is my side, his side, and in the middle is where things connected.
Yep.
Because since I know where my life is going, it's huge to me that the person I'm seeing has a plan in their life. I don't need you just, I'm going to work today.
Right.
Where they go eventually.
That check gonna hit eventually, you know.
Right. Like, I'm not a day by day person. Like, I think so far ahead in the future. I want my potential spouse to think to a certain extent like me. I understand you're not me, but you need to have a game plan.
You talked about your previous marriage, like where you was here and he was here, and that's like there was that gap there that you can't overcome, because that's not on you, you know, necessarily.
It drug me down because I'm literally working 3 jobs, going to school full time. You're working 11 hours a week, and I'm calling like, did you take the kids to Boy Scouts? Are they doing their homework? Are they doing this? No, I forgot. We're at the park and they're playing, and I'm smoking in the parking lot with my friends. Like, that's literally things that would happen in the marriage I was in. Like, I would get calls from work. Oh, the engine blew out in the car. I'm stuck on the side of the road. I gotta leave work to go meet my dad to get this car taken care of. When I got a second car, this car is in my name. I'm letting you drive it. And I went and got a car note so we could have 2 cars and went drive one car into the ground. Like, I'm handling all this business and getting stuff taken care of, and you're constantly creating problems that I cannot do. I spent a year and a half after things went downhill trying to fix that marriage until I was like, you know, this just isn't working anymore. Like, you're gonna bury me financially and mentally and emotionally if I keep going this way. So you have to have a game plan.
So ladies, just to keep it positive and to keep it focused about us women, the word of advice is to find you a man with a plan.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can't be led by somebody that don't have a plan, an end goal of some sort, whether that's a big, small, you know, take small steps. It is, yes, Kiana. It is really draining to have to come up with a plan for you and somebody else. And try to execute that, because that's not gonna, that don't work.
Understanding that y'all are 2 different and 2 whole people.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd she say?
I guess that's why. I don't want to feel
Go
like
ahead.
I'm bashing. I feel like that's support though. Like, we're supposed to be the support of men. Like, we're supposed to have their backs. Yes. So, I feel like, even though, you know how they say, you can help a man think a certain way and make him feel like it was his idea. I feel like that's kind of like what we have to do. Like, help him out, sis. Help him, give him that idea. Be like, go ahead, baby. That's your
lead that horse to that water.
Right. That's what I feel like we have to do. I like that comment.
If he's a good one, he gonna drink it. If he's smart, he gonna drink up that water. He gonna quench that thirst.
there's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with helping your man, guide him, and give him, directions to his goal. But at the end of the day, it has to be his goal, because if not,
Right.
you can only put in so much effort. That's supposed to be his goal.
It has to
So
be.
He's not gonna
he
want
gotta
to
he
talk.
gotta
You
work
can't make
to it.
him
Yeah,
do it. It has to be
can't
his
make him do it.
will, his vision, his goal, his plan.
Mhm.
You can't make him. It can't be your plan, your will. Like, this is what I want you to do.
Mhm.
It has to be his plan
Right.
and what he wants to do, and you motivate him
Help
and
those
push him
who
to
help
it.
themselves first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Amen.
Absolutely. I told Craig a long time ago, like when he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do in life. I was going to school. He really didn't know he was out of school. College wasn't a thing for him. Like, he tried the college thing, and that wasn't. And I was completely fine with that. Like, you tried to go to college,
Mhm.
that really wasn't your thing. And I'm
okay.
the biggest proponent. Don't spend that money. Don't get them loans if you don't
Right.
know what you're trying to do.
Right.
Like, don't do that just because society tells you. Your parents say, well, after you go to high school, don't do that.
Broke people with degrees out
It
there.
just,
All right, yes.
yes. And them payments, honey, that don't play. Anywho, but like, one thing that I noticed about him from a dating standpoint was that I honestly knew I thought he should go into radio, go into like mass communications and things like that. But I also knew that you had to kind of go to school to do that. And so he was at an impasse because he didn't want to necessarily go to school. But what I saw in him was that he liked to do communications and things like that. Now, we 10 years removed from that. He went on CDL, truck driving, all that kind of stuff. It's completely opposite. Never, he went and followed that route.
Right. I'm like,
But 10 years removed, and look where we at.
mm-hmm.
He's still, coming back to that dream, coming back to that fruition. So when he brought this up about doing a podcast, for me, like, that was his goal. But initially, to get that spark, like, to light that,
Yeah.
I got a logo created for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just laid it on his side table.
Support.
Mhm.
When he woke up, the ideas that he had in his mind, I would see him, like, drawing stuff out, and he ain't no artist, so he was trying to draw, draw out, like, he was trying. That show, to me, that's like, like I said, that was his initiative. That was him trying and things like that. And so I just used the connections that I had.
Mhm.
In this case, it was my brother, because my brother was doing like little artworks and stuff on the computer and all that. And I just took a picture and I was like, hey, can you do something with this to make it legit?
Mhm.
And we did it. And that's, and so as a woman, you do things like that
Right.
to keep encouraging your
That's how
man
you
to
help
pursue
and
that
support.
goal. That's how you
Mhm.
support them. That's how you do it. It's not necessarily coming up with or having to, you're not leading him or forcing
Right.
it on him. No,
Yeah.
Not
it's
building the path. Yeah.
it's we all need help with motivation sometimes.
Definitely.
Yes,
True.
we all need it, and men are no different. So
Mhm.
that's, as a woman, that's where you provide that support.
So maybe some women get that being a helpmate mixed up with I'm doing
everything.
everything. No,
That's-
you not.
yeah.
You still gotta give him support. Like, just because you used to doing everything yourself
Don't
and not having that
mean.
support, don't mean when you with somebody they don't want that support.
Right.
You definitely want it. Now that I got you here with me, what you here for?
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't be supportive.
Yeah.
Or if you
So-
see a man with a plan and he doing something, that don't mean you supposed to just make something for him. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he got his own thing, so worry about your own
Right.
thing. Like,
Right.
because then you get confused and mixed up into what only he wants to do, and then you done lost yourself.
But I think it's definitely helpful in a relationship if y'all both communicate about y'all passions and keep the
Yeah.
person thinking and that the wheels turning.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. But yeah, Samantha made a really good point there.
Beautiful. Kiana is very interactive.
Yes, that's my girl.
I'm like, yes, girl.
Matter of fact, I gotta text you back, girl. I got your text. I've been
Nah,
busy.
I
I'm
got-
text you back. I'll text you back. That's my girl. Should be good for you.
So let's move on. Let's get into some other topics that I had on here, which we actually was kind of rolling right through them.
Mhm.
So in the spirit of leading, why do we as women have to announce that we are strong and independent all the time? Is it that it's real? Like, are we really strong and independent, or is it a facade? Like, are we trying to we keep telling ourselves
So you
that that's what it
eventually
is?
believe it. type
So
thing.
you know, you speak something, eventually
Yeah, you know.
it might happen.
The women who say it all the time,
Yeah.
they probably just hoping it start to happen because
Or
I
they could be
definitely
so
don't feel
full of
the need to
themselves.
announce it.
Yeah, I
Or
don't
it
either.
could be an insecurity. Like
Yeah.
maybe they feel like they're lacking something, so they have to announce or make it known that they do got it all, but they feel like they don't actually have it all.
Maybe it's advertising.
Right.
Ooh.
I got it all together. You ain't got to worry about nothing with me. Like, you ain't got to worry about me taking from what you got because I'm good. So it might be a form
On
of
social
advertising.
media, people can be anything they want to be. Yes. And most of the time they're going through all kind of struggles. That's why I say I keep it real. Like people like you so motivational, and then one day you be down and you feel bad about
Because that's
I'm gonna
honest.
give you the good story, the
And-
real story.
right.
Like we struggle. Like I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not gonna hide or say no, it's supposed to be this or that. I am human, so I'm gonna give you the real thing. Like I'm 100% honest.
And people forget that, like, that you are human. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Especially on social media.
Because fake has become the new real.
I
real.
think that's even with like Sam had a topic broken men who were not taught how to express themselves or don't know how to. I think society, they kind of make men feel like not humans, because I tell men all the time when they feel like they're being sensitive or something, you're human, you have emotions. Like embrace your emotions. Like you're not a robot. Like I don't expect you to not feel any kind of way and you're a robot, because some men feel like women are the emotional creatures. You know, they call us that, emotional creatures.
Emotionally unstable.
And we're the strong ones that hold it together. You're human. At the end of the day, we're all human, and you're gonna have emotions. Like if something happens, somebody you love get hurt or die, you're gonna feel a certain way. You're not a robot. Like you're not gonna be 100% strong all the time. And I understand that. It's okay. It's okay to need to lean on me sometimes.
I think those things don't bother women if you know how to acknowledge it. Like the worst thing is a man that got those issues that's in denial. I ain't got those issues. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. Like, come on now, look in the mirror. Let's do some self-reflecting, because that's one thing I like to do every now and then, because I know I can be an asshole. And self-reflect. If you had those issues, realize you had those issues.
And then, I mean, if you just go back a little bit further, like nobody was a human, quote unquote, until we were like 3/5 of a person type thing.
Oh yeah.
So like the 3/5 compromise, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I read about it.
So
it's been a while though since
basically, like the law was saying that blacks weren't, you know, just look that up. 3/5 compromise is something along there. I don't know, y'all, but you can't show emotion, you can't do none of that, and that's for everybody. That's for everybody, like men and women, you know.
We just have so many so much
generational stuff that's just like
we have. This stuff that's trickled
down.
down.
I say self accountability is everything, because I'm not a perfect individual, and I realize what I've been through and what triggers me and why, and that's how I can grow and heal from those things. Some people, they don't realize or they deny it. They're like, no, that ain't got nothing to do with it, or this just who I am. I hear that too much. This just
Take
who I
That
am.
gets on my nerves.
Right.
Or a man better handle me. Are you a wild animal?
Right.
You should not be able to wrangle you and
shouldn't be that hard.
Okay, right.
Or
That's
me
right.
like everybody should be constantly trying to grow and progress and advance themselves. Like every productive human being, that should be their goal. Be better than they were yesterday. Yeah. And if you're trying to do that, like I feel like you would make those kind of statements, because you would realize like we all got work to do.
I am
been through some stuff.
Mental health, and I feel like all that's a mental health issue. Like if you're a woman or man that's wild and having a hard time controlling your emotions and spat out at people when things don't go your way, you might need to
get to the root of it.
Somebody, yes, definitely get to the root of those problems. Because I know in my youth there was a lot of things that I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing, and I got to the root of my problems, and I figured out what was going on with me. And it's a lot actually I have in common with you. Things things that happen that like my parents still don't even know, like molestation.
That's how you
rape,
stop it.
all
You
types of
acknowledge
things.
it.
And I had to face it and deal with it and why it was causing me to have issues. And it's a lot of Black women out there, especially the a man better know how to handle me type of women that just have some issues and they need to get to the root of it.
See, that's why it stopped, like your last marriage. That's why it probably ended, because you acknowledge what you were going through and what you've been through. And that's why families, you see, oh, her husband cheating on her, my auntie husband cheating on her too. And it becomes the norm, but that's not normal.
Right.
Like, get to the root
Why
of that.
are we letting
Because
negativity become
when you're
the
thinking
norm?
about it, when you get to the root of it, grandma husband cheating on her. And then it just things like auntie husband, and it just keep going. And y'all think it's normal, and it's not. We need to get to the root of it and fix that, so our future daughters and stuff and nieces and stuff don't have to go through that, because it's not normal. Like sometimes oh, that's just how your uncle is. They make it okay. That's just how you. No, it's not okay. That's not normal. And then they make the person not want to say anything because they just gonna say that's how Uncle T is.
Right.
So
that's just what he do.
Get to the root of it and fix it for your future loved ones.
Because
Right.
You lose your mind.
It helps. It stops the cycle. It stops with you. You can stop the cycle.
And that is the biggest hindrance in the Black community. It's breaking the cycle. And people just don't realize that they're carrying that on down.
Because they don't discuss it. They don't talk about it. It's just hush hush.
And that
like,
hurts
that
my
happened.
nerves.
Okay.
Like, people are astonished by the things I discuss with my sons. If he comes to me with a question, I'm not sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah.
We're gonna address it because obviously you're getting some information
Right.
from
From
somewhere.
somewhere.
You're gonna
because
get
you're
right.
asking
You're gonna get that
me
information
about
from
it.
somewhere.
Mhm.
And information is way more accessible in
Right.
2019 than when it was when we was kids or when we,
Like
it
you
was.
see, the Breakfast Club discussed how Hawaii is gonna charge $20 if you want to access porn on your phone because they want to keep kids from accessing porn. Because imagine you can type right now in XX
Anything,
videos
true.
or whatever, and it
That's
comes
true.
up.
They
But
putting it
if
in
a-
cartoons now, like
Right, but like if a kid
Who
wants
does
to
that?
access it, they have to be able to input a credit card and pay for it, and not every kid can just go access
True.
money like that.
I think
So,
that's smart.
Yes, very smart. Like I actually stopped my son. I was like, "You listen to a lot of rap music. Do you have any questions about sexual lyrics that you listen to or hear?" He was like, "Nah, I just try to ignore it because I ain't really studying all that." Yeah, because he will come and ask me like questions about stuff, and that's fine. Ask me.
As long as
hate
they
for you
ask.
to go
Yeah.
ask your
Right.
little cousin or your older cousin.
And getting the
who
wrong information.
Don't say stuff, or my brothers. My brothers are horrible role models. So they would tell him in a very ghetto way, very inappropriate, unfatherly manner, answers to his questions. So yeah, it's just communication, breaking that cycle, talking, opening up. Like I am dreading talking to them about sexuality.
Don't.
though.
It's normal.
Well, my family is like so homophobic.
Really?
Like, yeah, my dad and my family have no clue that I've been with women.
Mm-hmm.
They are like,
Mine doesn't either.
they would probably stop talking to
It was
me.
like I was living two different lives.
Yeah, there are a lot of things. And so, like, my son said something the other day about,
I had a gay
oh,
uncle,
you dating
so
girls?
that died from AIDS, but yeah. So my family's not homophobic whatsoever.
Wow.
So that'll be an
Oh,
open
okay.
conversation whenever it's time. For my
So
kid.
I think that would have the opposite
You know?
effect in some families. Like you
Yeah.
said, that cause him not to be homophobic. I think some people would be
Right.
like, yeah, because,
Mhm.
people, especially white people, like to make generalizations. If you're gay, you're gonna get
You don't-
AIDS just
okay,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
that happened to one
and
relative.
it opens the
Right.
door for you to discuss so many other things. Like, okay, this is what STD is about. You know,
Right.
this is what homophobia is. Like, this is how you explain a relationship between a man and a woman, or so. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, ours got started because my kids saw same-sex parents drop off school.
Oh, okay.
So that's stuff like that, and people don't realize that
It's that common.
People see kids pick up your parents pick up the kids, mom and dad. Well, nowadays they're seeing two dads and two moms, pick
Or
up
even
one
because
too.
y'all know kids talk, so even they
Right.
might say, "I got two
I got two
daddies, and I got
mommies."
two
Yeah,
mommies."
that's
Yeah.
it.
So
Mhm. So now you got ask him, explain it. Explain it. Don't just say,
Don't
don't
just-
worry about it. That's her
You'll
friend.
learn
That's
it.
his
Right.
friend.
That's her
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, sister. Now I saw
No,
them
it's
kissing
not.
each other goodbye at the car. Now you gotta cover up the
Now
lie
you gotta
just told.
talk about incest
Yeah.
because now you lying.
Right.
Now you gotta talk about that.
I think we went way off.
We
I
did, but
can't
that's
even
all
remember
right.
what the
That's okay.
initial discussion was about now.
That's all right. That's all right. Because it's all good stuff to talk about from us as women, just how to have those conversations, especially with our kids. We both have 2 sets of boys, and see, like for me, when I think about that, like I don't have anybody gay in my family or anything like that. But for me, I have an entire white side and then a black side, like so
that's a whole nother struggle.
that's a whole nother struggle, you know. And the thing about it is like especially when it comes to like the politics and all of that, you know, that's going on, I've had to have the conversations of like I have an entire white side that they don't like. If somebody was to walk, you know, see me in the streets, they don't know I have my grandma's white. You know what I'm saying? I've been prejudged at Ulta with my grandma and all this, and you know, she didn't have like the little rewards card. She was just taking us out. It's like, no, you know, you can use, you know, yeah, here, use mine. She was like, yeah, just use my granddaughter's. So I'm giving her the information and she ain't typing it in. She was like trying to verify that I was related to her. And she actually asked my grandma, do you know her?
Insult.
Like, we right here. Who else is, ain't nobody else on this line but me. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until that moment, because I've had those conversations with my grandma. Like my grandma was just always like, well, you know, she was part of that era, you know, before going through the segregation, all of that kind of stuff. And although I don't know necessarily what her beliefs were at the time, whether they were racist or not, because, you know, every family, white families have had that tendency. They grew up that way until one of their kids has a biracial child.
Right.
And then they don't, it's not until that happens that they see the other side. I was told stories of my grandfather not really wanting to play with us or participate in us because we were biracial kids, or us being in Walmart or whatever, my mom was white and getting people staring at them and looking at them and all that kind of stuff. You know, so I can only relate to that from the aspect of now we deal with two parents or two moms or two dads walking in Walmart and people staring, or, you know, now you have to have that conversation or that discussion. It was different. You know, it's different for me. And I think that's how my kids are going to, you know, be when I have a little chocolate boy with his white grandma.
Right.
But that's normal. You know what I'm saying? That's the norm. That's the new norm now. Like, so it's, you know, that conversation is different, but now the bigger conversation is really same-sex parents. And
why is it so hard for people to accept positive norms than it is negative norms? Like of men's masculinity, that should be normal for a man to show emotion and still be a protector.
I thought the same thing, because when Craig brought that up about, you know, attack on men, on men masculinity, and I saw the whole commercial and all that, and I was like, well, why is that really a bad thing? Like, I don't understand why you're so mad about it. Now I get it. He feels like, well, that's not, you know, it's you know, why is being a man have to be bad? I'm like, well, it's not.
It's to a certain extent.
Right. You know,
right. When it gets inappropriate, like a little bit, because like they said, boys will be boys, but it's not okay. Like I was just I've been talking to a lot of people about the cheating thing, and they said it's more easier for women to forgive men that cheat than men to forgive women.
Oh yeah, because the man.
Yeah.
And I talked to some men about it, and it was like, but it's different when y'all cheat because it's more emotional and stuff, and it's physical for us. And I'm just like
that it's not the same thing.
Right. Not all the time. And it did not affect my relationship.
Not all
the time. Like, shit, it happened. That was up.
So that's like saying boys will be boys. Like men will be men.
Yeah.
You're a woman. You're not expected to do that, but men will be men. So he cheated. Okay, get over it.
But I do.
I understand.
I agree with the fact that when women cheat, it's for a different reason than when for men cheat.
Yeah.
But that don't make it equally
okay.
okay.
I think we all different across the board. You know, men cheat for their reasons, women cheat for their reasons. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's
Right.
different.
That's
Because I have a lot of men complain that I'm too masculine. I think too much like a man. Like Kevin Hart made that joke about I thought it was okay to be at the pool with the naked bitches. I was waiting on you to come. Like in a woman, we like if it's a pool full of half naked dudes, we in our bikini, we finna go wait on our dude. But the dude like, I'm supposed to meet you at the pool. It's not my fault. It's all
Right.
there.
Yeah.
we think differently. Yeah, we
you
think
know.
differently.
But I've been accused of, you think too much like a dude. And
But that's
I don't
because
think
then
that's
we
too
still
cool.
jump into the boys will be boys and men will be men
Right.
because we're gonna go back with our man because we know for a fact that a man is looking at us like even if they aren't like we think that they're looking at us for our body or we at the pool or whatever.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go back with my man.
Not me.
Right. At that
Right.
point, I need some
See,
protecting.
I don't think
Disrespectful
like
to my man. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
I don't think like
gonna
that
go.
at all. I don't think like that. Not one bit. Because I was raised like a dude. I have two brothers. My dad threw me in the bathroom. They treat me like a dude. When they see fine women, they be like, you see that bitch? She look good. I be like, yeah, daddy, she ain't got no bra on. And be like, oh, she don't. I be like, yeah, daddy, look where her boobs at. She ain't got no bra on. This is how we are in Walmart. He'll point somebody out and be like, yeah, she ain't got no panties on, daddy. Look, her pants see through. They raised me like a dude. So my thought process, I'm not thinking folks looking at me, bikini, half naked, whatever. I'm not thinking it. And when I'm at the pool, especially with my boys, I'm not thinking nobody looking at me, but am I looking at everybody else? I damn sure am looking at everybody
So
else.
then wouldn't you think that they was looking as well if you think that, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't brought up that I'm an attractive woman. I wasn't brought up like, until I became of a certain age that you're beautiful. And you didn't tell me that till I'm like high school. Why am I believing you
Right.
now that
All
I'm
of
a
a sudden,
beautiful woman or whatever?
All of a sudden, I'm supposed to be wearing heels and,
Yeah, they got mad. It was like, you don't dress like a girl. You need to start dressing like a girl for people to think you a lesbian. Like, I used to wear Iverson braids, whatever Iverson was wearing. That's how my hair was. Long hair, braided. I used to sag. I used to wear gym pants, sneakers. I used to do rap battles. I used to flex with the dudes, do the dance battle contest, all of that. That's how I was raised. Like, I'm cut up arms, legs from playing football, basketball with the boys.
That's what I was saying earlier. Like, that's why I don't like to judge people. Because first of all, I know we all have our struggles. But second of all, you don't know how somebody grew up or what their childhood was like. And everybody don't get over their childhood or everybody don't try to address and heal from their childhood. So they might still be battling their childhood. So I don't judge nobody. People that doing their own thing, like that's their life.
Own thing.
Right. Whatever works for you, works for you. Like, I'm not going to insert myself into your business because I'm trying to focus on bettering myself.
Right.
But you never know. That's why I try not to be judgmental because you never know what somebody is going through or what life they live or what struggles they have to face. Like, everybody is on a different journey. So you can't, who are you to look down on somebody else? Right. Because we all got our issues. Like, not one person in this world don't have no issues.
Right. But people love to fake the funk like they good, like they straight on everything, like there's not a flaw.
Some people in
their
denial.
life.
Some people don't even really believe they got a flaw.
Right.
I
really
didn't.
do.
I'm gonna be one of them. I'm just gonna be real. I didn't know. I didn't think that there was anything wrong with me, period. Like, I grew up, I always had everything that I needed and wanted. Like, I could look at a bike on TV and I'm like, dang, that's a tight bike. And the next day it's in my living room type deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, never.
So I never knew that something was wrong with me.
Right.
Like, I didn't know that I was so entitled. I didn't know that I was judgmental. I didn't know that I was toxic. You know what I'm saying? And even when I got to high school, I was popular. Like, even in middle school, I was popular. I didn't know that I was darker. Didn't understand that. I had everything that I wanted and needed. And so it was just kind of like, it wasn't until I got in a relationship that I knew.
Wait a minute.
That something was
She was
wrong
like,
with me.
damn, I'm not the shit. Oh
Okay.
my God.
Right.
No, I'm still the shit, but I'm not the shit. I'm still the shit.
I'm the shit. I
But
got
your
some
girl
shit to
got
work
some
out.
shit.
But I'm
I'm the
serious.
shit with some extra shit.
With some extra shit,
Right.
you see?
I just got some shit to work on.
Talk
Okay.
about,
Right.
talk
Yes.
about a broken individual. I used to
Yes.
advertise myself
Yes.
as damaged goods. That's literally what I used to tell.
I wouldn't even
Like,
claim that of myself, girl. I was just like, shh.
I was like, you don't want
Yeah.
you don't want it with me. I'm damaged goods. Go somewhere else. Like I was the complete opposite. Like I had friends. I was cool as shit with a lot of people in high school.
Yeah.
I've gone to like 5-6 different schools, 2 elementary, 2 junior high school. high school.
Same.
I got
Everywhere
friends,
I went.
but like as far as that connection with people,
Mm.
like I never was clicked up. I just knew everybody because I didn't
Same
let people
here.
get too close. It's like you
Same.
stay here, we cool to a certain extent.
Yeah, I was popular, but I only, y'all, when me and Christian get married, y'all know how many bridesmaids I got?
Oh Jesus,
4.
20.
4.
Okay.
She said,
Well,
I was gonna say, I was waiting on this
No.
Jesus, 20.
I was popular and I had a lot of friends, but I didn't have any friends.
Like
Yeah.
real.
You know,
Mhm.
I only got 2 from Texas that I still talk to, and then I only got 2 down here and my sisters. That's it. So it's gonna be 4.
I'm not having any.
You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't nobody. So I understand where you was coming from. You was like you know what I'm saying, you was cool, you knew
Right.
everybody, but there was like a distance because
Mhm.
I moved around so much.
Right.
We moved around a lot. Like growing up, I was in several different schools and all that, and that was another thing. Like the reason we always moved around was because of a man. Like my mom would always be dating somebody, and that's when we would move. It wasn't never because of her. Like
Yeah.
What she
her-
was
what she
pursuing
was
or a
doing.
job or something.
it was always related to a man or whatever. But because I moved around a lot, I didn't have long term. I didn't have friends,
Mhm.
but I also I wasn't as open to having friends
Yeah.
because I always knew at the end of the day I was gonna move eventually. And so I was
So
like,
it's a waste of time.
it was like, yeah, like why am I gonna keep investing my time into befriending somebody else, especially when you don't know they gonna last.
See, mine went back to you gonna betray me, fuck me over, something.
Something
See,
gonna
mine was
happen.
both. Mine was like, because my mom was saying, don't trust nobody. So I was like, oh, I can't trust you. Then it's like, we're going to leave anyway. So what's the difference? Like, I literally would have lunch in the bathroom stall. Because first of all, I didn't want nobody to know I was homeless. But like, it really got to that point where I was so closed off. Like, my mama taught me you don't have friends, you have associates. So when I got to when I got to college, I kept saying, this is my associate. This is my associate. And they were like, why you say that? Like, why you keep saying it? And when I first said, this is my friend, it was almost like me saying, I love you. Because it was so deep to me. Like this is.
Well, I think about it the other way. So I may say somebody my friend just because to me that word connects more. But associate, acquaintance, you know what level we at by how often we see each other
Right.
and communicate.
Mhm.
So don't get it twisted. Just because I say you my friend, you're not gonna be all up in my house.
Mhm.
You know, so to me, certain things are just common sense.
Mhm.
If I'm not like we talk every 6 months, obviously
We're
like
not
you're
that close. Mhm.
Exactly. And I hate when people call to just do those real quick, try to figure out what's going on with you. We're not that
Are they
close.
sick? Yeah,
Right.
because that made me feel like you're just trying to get the gossip,
Now you're trying to get
especially
nosy.
You're bored. And you wanna be
Especially if
nosy.
they be like, okay, how you doing? What's going on with you? And then like if you tell them something, they're like, oh, okay, bye. Like they don't try to help you or
Oh, now
give
they
you
get
any.
it. Somebody sent them.
Mhm.
I'll be like, who
Right.
sent you? I'm gonna call you right back.
Right.
Who
Like
sent
why you don't
Yeah.
care about me? You just trying to get the
Right.
scoop and bounce.
Get the scoop and hang
Mhm.
up. Something wrong.
So that's like, I mean, people will reveal themselves eventually. True
Right.
colors will show.
Ladies, we have been put on notice
Uh
that it's time to wrap it up.
oh.
After a really great
It's all right.
great discussion, great topic. Y'all, we've got to do these ladies' nights
do.
on a regular because it seems like we have a lot to talk about.
But you know, it's opinionated women. Yeah.
Mhm.
We
When
can go
it's,
all night.
we can go all night.
And
Yeah,
you know,
like we
with women,
just
you
need
start
it,
with
though.
one thing and then you just end up talking about
Because there's
so
so
much.
much that needs to be discussed that
It
we're
is a lot.
not like we're shying away from. We need to embrace ourselves and
Mhm.
discuss it. Just like y'all too. Y'all need self-care.
Yes, we talked about
Mothers,
that.
they got
Don't make me
kids,
text.
take time
Right.
out for
Don't make
yourself.
me text y'all.
Yeah.
Like, did you go get
Love
your
on
nails
When I
done?
tell
yourself.
y'all my whole facial routine
Even-
is
that's
falling
what I
off,
was just
like
about
I'm
to
starting
say.
to break out because of stress and everything.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I used to have a morning routine, night routine. I have not done it. I can't tell you when the last time
Girl,
I've
go
even done
Loving
it.
yourself
Listen,
is part of
Alyssa,
loving them.
She said the first thing she said to me when she saw me was, excuse me, ma'am, what's different? So something's different about you because I have on eyeshadow. Like it's literally just something that's
Something
small,
that's small.
Uh-huh.
like that. You know, she's not used to seeing because I don't wear
So
makeup.
what is it?
I don't
Is
got
it like
time.
motivation to do that thing for
First of
yourself?
all,
or
yeah,
is it,
like for me, I just don't have time in the morning to put on a whole bunch of makeup. Like I need to figure out like
What time do you
easy,
get up in the
easy
morning?
5:45. That's and that's too early. Like I hate
no,
that.
it's not. We
baby,
get
she
up
gotta
at
get
5
her.
o'clock every morning.
I get up at 5:30.
See, like but
And I know
but
you-
see, here's
tired. I know
because
you
here's the
tired.
thing, y'all get up at 5 and 5:30, but y'all don't have two little boys
That's
to
what I
get
was just
ready.
saying. I know you be
Yeah.
tired. You got,
You know
you
what
got
I'm saying?
kids.
And trying to wrestle, like
Right.
you gotta, you know.
And then they may poop before you get out
yeah.
the door.
Oh, yeah.
But then what's
Oh,
your
Jesus.
excuse?
And then you got one
Okay,
that's
so-
Oh, hold on.
I only wear makeup
boy.
actually for
Let
when
me
I'm
just-
doing stuff like this,
Mhm.
mostly business stuff because my mama just instilled this insecurity in me that anytime you go out, you need to have your face on. Like she hates.
Me
My
too.
mom did that with
We
this
could not
sticky
be at the
earrings.
house with no clothes.
Yeah.
Like you could not
With
have, like you
sticky
could not go at the house with
Right.
like gym pants. You couldn't do none of that. You had to have on clothes when you left the house. All of that.
Well, and it's
We do
just
need to
my
take this off.
my tomboy nature too.
See, that's for me.
Right.
Just growing up with all boys.
We need to stop. Before we.
Yeah, we
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 finna
already
go-
going
we
to
gonna-
something else.
Yeah.
We already going on to something else.
We'll
Yeah.
keep going. So we just gonna cut that loose.
They definitely,
So
yes,
thank
y'all.
you guys. Thank you, ladies, for
Thank
tuning
you.
in to the
Yes,
All
y'all.
Ladies podcast. DC ladies, we are gonna plan this night
It needs to
again.
happen like once
And
a month
add.
or something.
I agree.
Because I be needing somebody to talk to.
I
Christine on my
agree.
nerves. It
Yeah.
is.
I think it's refreshing, especially for Alyssa. She got to deal with the men.
Yeah, you,
Oh,
do.
yeah.
You do. That's
She,
what she said. Like, when I came on, she was like, "It's refreshing to have a girl."
Yeah.
Because, child,
I be trying to back up from a distance, but I be over here. I be on the
doing
other
your
side
duties,
of the camera,
Mhm.
right?
doing your
right.
duties.
So,
She said, "My mom did that too." Child, yes, you could not leave the house. Listen.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, y'all.
Yes, thank you.
This is
Disorderly
Disorderly
Conduct.
Conduct.
Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
That was good.
Y'all
It
are
went
so
by way too
entertaining.
fast. Actually,
It
He
did.
said 2
I feel like
hours.
the
I
same
want to
way.
get a drink, and we ain't been doing this. for
No,
2
we
hours,
started. We
y'all.
started
It's
at
been 1
7:30.
That's what I thought.
I
Oh,
was chilling at first. I was
Because
like,
I was
I know
watching
I'm
the clock.
Yeah.
That's what this